Welcome to this Natural Abilities meditation. Let's look at developing 12 of these abilities, and let's call them powers. Join with me in consciousness as I speak this meditation in the first person, present tense, and the positive. Allow the words that I speak to be the words of your own heart. So in this moment, I breathe, relax, and remember, there is only one thing going on here: Spirit. It is everything seen and unseen. It is all of me and so much more. And as I breathe and relax into this knowing, I choose to become aware of the natural and divine powers of Spirit within me. I know I am always guided by the Spirit within, so I take this time to encourage and develop them, for I am ready to become all I can be. Within me there are infinite possibilities to discover. I am capable of unlimited strength, absolute knowing, a healthy life, and many other undiscovered abilities beyond my current awareness. As my awareness of the 12 spiritual abilities increases, I call on them to express in the perfect ways for me and for my life. I commit to the discipline, dedication, and conscious recognition of my divine nature. I am divine. I am having this beautiful human experience. I am one. I open to the expansion of my natural powers and abilities, and know they are expressed through my body and all my relationships. I know these abilities are initiated through the wisdom within me, from divine mind to my mind. I feel this transformation in consciousness in every part of my life, beginning with my body. I begin with focusing on my ability to have faith. My faith is an energy that draws to me my deepest desires from the invisible field of pure potentiality. I have a deep inner knowing that what I desire is already mine for the taking. With faith, I easily look past appearances of lack, limitation, or difficulty, and know that even though I do not see it, except in my mind, it is enough. Through faith, I know, with an inner knowing, the idea is already complete in spirit. I claim it now. My faith is my ability to perceive my good, even with evidence to the contrary. I am positive expectancy and declare that the power, wisdom, love, and presence of Spirit are real and here and now. Spiritual strength is my natural ability. As one with the mind of God, my strength is my endurance. I embody the continuous and sustained energies of creation. I am strong. I am stable. I have the power to resist temptation. I have the capacity to accomplish all I set out to do. I am dependable. I have the capacity to endure. My spiritual strength is courage and confidence to exemplify non-resistance. I easily demonstrate a calm, focused, God-centered attitude of mind. Spiritual judgment or discernment is my natural ability. I easily evaluate through comparison or contrast. I open to my ability to spiritually understand. I follow the wisdom within to appraise, evaluate, and distinguish. I make excellent decisions. I maintain enlightened objectivity about my life and my world. Spiritual love is my natural ability. I am love. In divine mind, I am one with all, and all is one with divine mind. I am unity. I align with this power, remembering it joins and binds together the universe and everything in it. Love is harmonizing and constructive. I am love. The love in me, in consciousness, supports and rebuilds, reestablishes and restores me and my life. As I express divine love, I love for the sake of loving. I see good everywhere and in everybody. The love in me harmonizes and heals. The love in me attracts harmony and unity. Love expands my ability to comprehend oneness. As an expression of spiritual love, I totally, unconditionally accept everyone and everything. Spiritual power is my natural ability. I have the natural ability to control my thoughts and feelings. I have the ability to use the power of spirit to transform divine ideas into my reality. I am taking control over my thoughts and feelings in order to come into a greater awareness of spirit within and in my life. I am the author of my life through this natural spiritual power. I am so grateful that the greatest creative power is through my realization of the power of God within me. My words are the instruments through which this power is manifested in my life. Spiritual imagination is my natural ability. It is through imagination that my thoughts and feelings take form. My ideas are first projected into my mind, and then they are created in consciousness. Imagination enables me to conceive and visualize. Imagination shapes thoughts into mental images filled with color, variety, and dimension. As I use my imagination, my thoughts become powerful images which shape my world for the better in every way. Spiritual understanding is my natural ability. Spiritual understanding is my ability to transcend my intellect to a deeper knowing, a broader perspective. As I open to and allow understanding, I receive insights and guidance. Through understanding, I increase my capacity to gain direct guidance from the spirit within me. Spiritual will is my natural ability. I align with spiritual intelligence as I make choices. As I tap into divine will, I see all things through spiritual eyes. I gradually and easily expand into this realization. I transcend the limits of my personality to see love is all there is. The divine through me leads me back to the One. Divine will activates all my natural abilities. Through the power of will, I easily say yes or no to opportunities and options. As my awareness is filled with divine will, I am happy to be guided and give conscious consent to the inner guidance of Spirit. Spiritual order is my natural ability. I align with divine order. I know everything is happening at the right and perfect time and place, with the right and perfect people and circumstances. I lean into divine order and relax, trusting divine order aligns me with a deep inner knowing that all is well and progressing perfectly. I know what is mine to do at the perfect time. I am in harmony with life. I participate consciously in the process of life. Spiritual enthusiasm is my natural ability. Enthusiasm compels me to move forward in any venture and accomplish amazing things. With enthusiasm, I can achieve marvelous results that the mind conceives. Enthusiasm is the impulse to go forward. I encourage the urge within me to propel me forward. With enthusiasm, I know, speak, and do good. Spiritual elimination is my natural ability. I use my ability to release, to let go of old thoughts, so new thoughts can fill my consciousness. I easily release false beliefs and open my mind to new, more empowering, loving, spirit-led ideas. Elimination enables me to surrender to Spirit any thought that is not for my highest good. My highest good is unfolding now. Spiritual life is my natural ability. Filled with life, I live, move, and have my being in this body. Life animates me. Life is my ability to express Spirit within me. I am the hands and feet of Spirit in expression through the power of life. The infinite mind of God fills my awareness with all I require to transform where I am in consciousness and spiritual growth. I embody the spiritual powers I am designed to express and experience my divine potential. I am love in action. And I release these words to the absolute law of mind, knowing it is already done. Please join with me in affirming, and so it is.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make, the reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings, and you will do amazing. You don't have to work it out, just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, I know you will. Look at somebody for a second and sing, amazing. Look at somebody else, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, I know you will, amazing. Yes, amazing. You will do amazing things. Can you feel that? Such beautiful energy we've created right here. Now what I want us to do is imagine that we filled this room, and we're going to send it out into the world, this knowing, this positive, beautiful spiritual energy. Let's sing, we will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, we will do amazing things. Oh, oh, like you to do with the deepest conviction and sincerity, place your hand over your own heart and tell yourself the truth. I will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. You will do amazing things.
And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
Welcome to Unity, where we explore living everyday spirituality. Grateful that you are here today. I am Agnes, and I am the presider for today. We began by dedicating this service to Hamilton Regional Indian Center, whose vision is creating change that empowers urban Aboriginal people And the mission is to provide the urban Aboriginal people with the tools to achieve a balanced, holistic lifestyle. Let's begin with the City of Hamilton land acknowledgement. The City of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, the City of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, North America, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of the land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. And now I would like to introduce the song of the month, which is If I Had a Hammer. And go for it.
I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land, all over this land, all over this land.
Way to go. And now to lead us on our spiritual journey, Rev Ann Aukankis.
Are you ready? After that song, I'm ready. Hi, everybody. I'm ready. And it's my absolute delight to be here with you today. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And for those of you online, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's start with this opening prayer. And I'd love for you to read it with me. But begin first with just settling into the knowing that there is only oneness. And just allow the whirling thoughts that are going on from your day to just be set aside for a moment. And let's begin. I believe. Life is good. God is all there is, and love is the only power. I align myself with the power within to create my best life. And so it is. And let's be gentle with ourselves. And this beautiful song by Karen Drucker.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Now I know. And I'm gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child.
And now for the absolute word. Today is self-care. I take care of my mind and body. My spirit is timelessly all and perfect. Jesus taught us to love one another as ourselves. Care of ourselves is one way we demonstrate love for ourselves. I can better care for others when I have taken care of myself. We are the threefold beings, body, mind, and spirit. My body and mind need care. Spirit needs no care since it is timelessly all and perfect. I love and care for my body with good nutrition, adequate exercise, and good grooming habits. I love and care for my mind by reading books and magazines that I can use to inspire and uplift myself. I take care to remember my spirit, my divinity, by praying and meditating daily.
I'm gonna need help with this because this is all a cappella. You guys know this song. It's I love myself so much, and it goes like this. That's it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me again. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. One more time. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. Let's do it again. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. One more time. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me. Let's go. I love myself so much so I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me.
Yes, me, myself, and I. Yeah, that's a great song. And it really is true, that idea that self-love is actually where it all begins. Because it's really difficult to love outside of oneself and even know what that is until we begin with ourselves. And so that's today's talk. And actually, for this, this time that we have together, we're looking at relationships. And today is about self-relationship. What kind of relationship do you have with yourself? So I'd like to look at self-love, really just scratching the surface, because there is a lot in this topic. Love in its many forms and what they are. And of course, I'm just going to cover a couple because we could be here all day. And we'll look at the dark side too, just because it's good to recognize that too. So let's start with self-love. Why self-love is anything but selfish? You know what about you, but I grew up not really being taught to love myself. Were you taught to love yourself? It was kind of almost egotistical if you said, you know, I'm great or I'm fabulous, or I never even thought of saying the words, I love myself. Did you? Yeah. So it's so easy to give love to others, right? you know, to just be generous to somebody else. So why is it such a challenge to do the same for ourselves? Was it beaten out of us somehow? And I don't mean physically, but just through repetition. Because I don't think we started out that way. I mean, if you see a baby, they're just totally in awe of even their fingers. Like, you'll see them just like, oh, this is great. And they look at their feet, and they're just so happy, happy, happy. And everything outside of them is really irrelevant. Everything that's going on within them, their bodily functions, everything else is all just this wonderful exploration. Yet we don't see it that way today, do we? Like, do you look at your hand lately? Like, look at your hand. Oh, it's so fabulous. But it is. So let's look at why self-love is anything but selfish. If we can have compassion for those in pain, why do we have such a hard time giving ourselves a break when it comes to our own suffering? I don't know about you, but I have this inner voice often, and I'm working on it, that's going, suck it up. You should be better than that. What are you feeling like that for? But if somebody else is in pain, oh, I just gush. Do you just gush? Maybe you don't, but maybe you do. And why is that? We effortlessly fall in love with others, yet the idea of falling in love with ourselves seems selfish and wrong. And I think it's just something we've learned. That's at least my theory today. Before we can understand why self-love is such a challenge, we have to first agree on its meaning. Would you agree? There's a couple of people agreeing. Okay, good. At least I've got a few of you on board. So, do you wish to cultivate self-love? Like, is that something that's even occurred to you? There's a few of you nodding. Let's look at precisely what it is and what it's not. So, self-love is not arrogant, it's not conceited, or any other negative attribute. I just want you to hear that. It's not a negative thing to love yourself. Do you hear me? Self-love is not the I am the greatest, but merely saying I am here. And it's really about your entitlement to exist and to express yourself. Do you feel comfortable everywhere you go to be able to just say I'm here and I'm entitled to be here? Not everywhere. And why is that? Because there are other people in other places that don't love themselves either. And so they don't know how to express love because they haven't expressed it for themselves. And so we are being invited at this time to start loving ourselves so that we can create the world that loves everyone and everything in it, including themselves. Your inner voice may say, who the hell do you think you are? You know, being entitled to just be wherever you want to be. Who do you think you are? You are who you are, and who you are is just perfect. It's funny you should ask. I'll tell you who I am. I'm a child of God, just like anybody else. And I'm a citizen of the universe. And you know, it's interesting, this idea of child of God. Reverend Randy and I had this conversation in the car, and we often do because it's 20 minutes from where we live to come here in the morning. And he said, you know, he was thinking about Myrtle Fillmore's statement in her healing, and that was that I'm a child of God and I don't inherit disease. And he said, you know, it's still putting God outside of oneself to be a child of anything. You are now this separate entity. And what was your word, Randy? I am an aspect of God? Yes. So what do you think about that? Can you call yourself a child of God and feel one with it? Or does it create separation for you? Just a question. The fact that I'm here at all is evidence that I have the right to be here. And I want you to hear that. Just because you're here means you're valuable. No matter what anybody else says, including the voice in your head. So Oprah Winfrey, she's just got such wonderful nuggets. So I have a couple of little videos throughout this talk with Oprah talking about self-love and what she thinks is important for self-love. So this first one is a full screen, please.
but I have always had the deep understanding for myself that if anything was going to move forward in my life, that I was going to have to be responsible for making that happen. And I know that to be true now and can articulate it as you are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward. And the sooner you get that, the sooner your life gets into gear. This is what I know from doing 25 years and thousands of interviews on the Oprah Show. It does not matter where you come from. I have seen people come out of the desert, walk across the desert, being born in the most dire of circumstances. Doesn't matter what your mama did, whether she did or had a PhD or no D. What matters is now, this moment, and your willingness to see this moment for what it is, accept it, forgive the past, take responsibility, and move forward.
Yes, she's quite profound, isn't she? And that's a difficult thing to do. It's easy to say, it's a simple concept, and yet how many times have you heard someone say, for instance, "Oh, you make me so mad"? But nobody makes us anything. We make our own choices about everything that happens in life. So let's look at love in 3 different forms. Eros is a type of love we think of as romantic or sexual love. Agape love is a feeling of contentment, high regard and respect. It is unconditional and giving. It's a brotherly love for all humanity. And philia love refers to friendship and is the love of the self, a necessary condition for achieving happiness and having compassion towards others. And interesting, it's a necessary condition for achieving happiness and to be able to be compassionate towards others. So is self-love a challenge for you? Oh, I have all these voices in my head that are telling me why I should be not good enough. I don't know where they came from, but I took them on, and I've slowly been peeling them away. I have this, like an acid vat in my mind's eye. I have this imaginary place where every time there's a negative idea that I have or a concept, I pop it in there and I watch it go, gone. And it never spills over, never creates any problem in my imagination, but it causes these things visually, and I feel them in my body to just kind of disappear. And if they show up again, go, you know where you're going, right? Into that acid vat. So whatever method you want to use, we actually have the flash paper available that you can purchase either online or here. So if you're ever wanting to do just to get rid of some ideas, you can purchase them. And you've done it at Christmas time, probably in the release that we do. But it's another wonderful way. You could write it on toilet paper, flush it down the toilet, put it through a shredder, whatever works for you. So I want to know, why is self-love such a challenge? I know you don't want to tell me, and maybe you haven't thought about it.
Power.
Power?
Yeah, somebody else creates a situation where they're in power and you're not.
So someone's controlling us by not allowing us to love ourselves, because heaven forbid, if you loved yourself, you might do crazy things that were outside of what they wanted you to do.
It's called the futile system.
The what system?
The futile system.
The futile system, yes. Futile for us and futile for them. Yes. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? The messages that we received from our parents, our caregiver, society, usually unintentional, because that's what they were taught, were not conducive to the cultivation of self-love. Would you agree that that's true? Yeah. So there's a picture of my son and our first dog. And that little dog actually didn't stay with us for longer than about a month because he ate every bit of furniture we had. And my son was at that age, 2 years old, where he was also eating everything I had. And so it was too much. But I remember, like, look how cute he is. And I kept saying to him, you're so beautiful, you're so cute, I just love you, you're just wonderful. And my dad was really afraid that my son would become gay if I told him he was beautiful and that I loved him. And my dad didn't understand a lot of the ways of the world. He's long gone now. He died when he was 58. But I remember thinking, Dad, you're full of hooey. And I kept telling my son that I loved him and that he was beautiful. And he is the most amazing father today, I think, as a consequence of the self-love that he developed in those early years. So don't be too big for your britches is another one that people say, or always put others first. And yes, putting someone else first is a good thing, but I mean, remember that statement they make on airplanes? That we were just recently on an airplane, and they say, put the oxygen on you first so that you have air so you can help someone else. And that's a real great metaphor for life, because we need to look after ourselves first before we can really, truly help someone else. And whatever that is, maybe you need sleep, or maybe you need to be away from people for a while, or maybe you need to do something creative. Whatever it is, to love first is vital. Showing love and compassion to someone else tended to be praised, especially when I was growing up. And doing the same towards ourselves didn't receive the same praise. Like if someone said, so what have you been up to? Oh, you know, now it's kind of a thing where you say, oh, I'm into self-care, and everyone goes, yoo-hoo. But there was a time where if you said I was into self-care, oh, I had a bath and I self-massaged and I ate chocolate and whatever it is that you wanted to do, they didn't want to hear that stuff, did they? So there are links between emotional abuse and perfectionism and lack of self-love. And so when you see someone who is really not self-loving, there's been some kind of abuse that has created emotional abuse. And often people who have been abused in that way really need to control the things they can in their life, because now they can. And so someone who's really overly a perfectionist, maybe you can see them with new eyes today, and maybe that's you. And say, you know, that's the hurt me that's trying to control the things that I can. And to maybe go easy on yourself. I remember the first art class that I taught at Unity up in Kitchener. And the hardest part of that art class was to get people to recognize that it doesn't matter what you create. There's no such thing as perfect in this. That this is just a matter of putting something down and allowing it to be, and that it's just perfect the way that it is. And there were a couple of people in that group, there was probably about 30 of them at the time, that really just hated what they had produced. And I recognized that there was nothing I could do at that point, because there were so many layers of challenges in their life at that point. And I don't know where they are today, but I'm hoping that they've peeled that emotional abuse onion a little bit. I see that for them. Full screen here, please. This is from Nicole Siegfried. As children, we're often taught to motivate others through self-criticism, or ourselves through self-criticism. When we internally parent with punishment and criticism, like an authoritarian parent, we activate our fear response system, which produces increased levels of stress hormone, cortisol. When we live from a place of self-love, which is compassion and boundaries, we deactivate the fear response system and release levels of oxytocin, which is associated with feelings of contentment. You know, it's a bit like even in school when you first started, you got stamps or stickers or something if you did well. I mean, we used to have to be checked by someone in our row, in our class, if you had brushed your teeth, if your ears were clean, if you had brushed your hair, if your clothes were not wrinkled. all of those kind of things, and you got stars or not if you missed out on that. And I remember being just so scared to go to school that perhaps I was going to be one of those ones that would get a tick on the chart, because it was like negative reinforcement. It was just wild. So I really care about how I look. I wonder why. Self-love is caring for yourself as a healthy parent would care for a child. It is spirit within you loving itself. Spirit is within you, and it loves you. If you let it, it'll show you. Praise or encouragement. This was something I learned as a very young entrepreneur. I was the employer of about 12 people, and I was 22. And so I was taking management courses, and I think the biggest nugget that I ever got, and my son was just around 2 years old at this point, and they said, don't praise your employees, encourage them. Because praise has them looking for the good outside of themselves, whereas encouragement allows the good to bubble up from within. So I'll give you an example. Like my son, for instance, he would come home and he'd have done something and he'd show me, and I'd look at him and I'd want to say, oh, I love what you did. Did you ever do a good job? But instead of praise, what I said was, it must feel so good to have produced something so amazing. And he grew up as a kid that it was, I think when he was 16, when I finally said, did you ever notice that I never praised you? And he said, yeah, actually you never did. And so I explained to him the concept. And I said, but I want you to know that I do love everything that you've done, and you have done a really great job. But I wanted to build within you the desire to please yourself, to find the joy within yourself. So how are you encouraging yourself rather than praising yourself? How are you encouraging those around you rather than praising them? Something to think about. So let's quickly look at the dark side before we come back to the light. Full screen here, please. So Carl Jung says, everybody has a shadow self, which needs to be integrated. The less the person integrates the shadow and expresses it openly, the blacker and denser it will be. And basically what he's saying there is that you need to honor and bless it, love it like that baby child that we sang about, because it's a part of who we are. Because trying to squelch it or squish it or push it away doesn't make it go away. It actually gets louder, like Carl Jung says, it gets blacker and denser. And so to find a way to love the shadow self. So let's explore that a little bit further. So if you hate a person, you hate something in him that is part of yourself, which isn't part of ourselves, doesn't disturb us. This is Hermann Hesse. So think about that. If somebody's pushing your buttons, it's because there's a part of you that you don't like, that is that way, or that you've been working on, that you don't like. Because you wouldn't hate anyone or anybody's behavior at all. You would let it just be if you were okay with yourself. Now that's a big concept to consider, but I have found that to be true. So I invite you to consider it. What you see in others reflects what you have within yourself, but do not want to deal with. And that's the negative things. On the same side, the flip side of that is that what you see that's admirable about someone else also resides in you. So if you say, oh, I just love, love, love Randy, for instance, as a person, why do I? Because he is bubbly and vivacious and loves life. That means that there is a part of me that is bubbly, vivacious, and loves life. So there's two sides to it. The things you don't like are aspects of you, but the things that you do like are aspects of you too. Did you know that what you learn far more from your pain than you do from your successes? Wonder why that is. Do you think that's nature or nurture? I don't know. But it's true. Something hurts you and you go, I'll never do that again. But if something's really great, do you go, oh, I'm going to do that again tomorrow? Not usually. We kind of take it for granted, don't we? We often project our failings onto other people. We notice in others that the things that we hate about ourselves. You know, I remember a woman who was away on holidays for the winter. I was doing hair at the time. And I had gained a fair bit of weight that winter. And I was in the process of getting larger. And she came in the door and she had gained weight too. But the first thing she said to me was, Anne, what did you do? Fall into a bag of potato chips while I was gone this winter? And I thought, yeah, like I'm going to really give you a good haircut today because of that. Thanks. But the thing is, it had nothing to do with me, even though that was true. It had to do with her perspective was on weight because she was concerned about her own weight. So that's a little glimpse into the things that you see in someone else are part of what you're thinking about. So in other words, our weaknesses and irritation can be the best tools for introspection. And I did fall into a bag of potato chips, by the way. Several. Shadow self offers actually an opportunity for us. An opportunity to look at it, to decide what we want to do with it. Sometimes to just, can I just put you aside for a while because I really don't want to deal with this right now. But know that it won't go away. You will have to deal with it at some point, somehow. You can use other people as a mirror to understand your own shadow. So as you move through your week and you see something that pleases you, think, oh, that's a part of me. When you see something that doesn't please you, oh, that's a part of me. And not look at it as good or bad, but just that it is. You know, I think about Jesus at this time, and we were watching the program that is on Jesus' life as a group here on Wednesday afternoons, and we're waiting for season 3. And he just loved everybody because he had so much self-love within him that he did not see the negative in other people. And so we talk at Unity about how Jesus was our way shower. And that's the example that he gave. He was just walking self-love. And as a consequence, encouraged it in others. Mirroring is an excellent technique that we can benefit from and can significantly assist in self-love. Everybody can be used as a mirror for our development. When we detest someone else, it's a flaw in our perception. When somebody bothers you, it's easier to project your failings onto them and criticize them. True? Think about when you're kind of not in a really great mood. It's really easy to just snap at everybody, isn't it? You know, go like just... And yet when we're in a, at least for me, okay, I'll speak for myself, because I don't know about you. But when I'm in a happy place, doesn't matter what anybody does or says, life is good. You want to be a whatever, go for it, because it doesn't bother me. Have you been there? Yeah. And you know that that's a choice. You have that ability to choose that when you notice that you're doing it. When we judge or condemn others, we're criticizing things we are unable or unwilling to deal with ourselves. And that's our spiritual journey, is to notice when we are condemning, criticizing, when we're blessing, why are we doing it? We are inviting everyone to just live more deliberately. That's really the bottom line. So the Bible also reflects these teachings. Full screen here, please. You therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things. Romans 2:1. See, they knew this 1,000 years ago. We're only just figuring it out. And here's a couple, and one more. Do not judge, or you too shall be judged. And isn't that interesting? If you criticize somebody, don't they throw back a criticism right away? They don't go, oh, thanks so much. That was great. I'm sorry, I could just see it happening. So self-love starts with taking responsibility for your life. Step 2 is believing in yourself. So here's another full screen with Oprah Winfrey.
Many of you, as I have been, as I am, are where you are in your life based upon what you believe. And it's not just what you think you believe on the surface, it's also your shadow beliefs that are holding you back from moving into the life that you believe you deserve. What I know is if you're not looking at the shadows, if you're not looking at what is subconsciously running through the tape in your mind, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough, which is a tape that's playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not out of what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself. But you don't become what you want, because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. That's why Jim Carrey's story is so powerful, because he started to act as though he already had it. He would go up to Mulholland Drive, he would drive away thinking, I already have those things, I just haven't accessed them as yet. I believe those things are going to come to me and I'm going to act like they are, so I'm going to move forward in my life in order to draw that to myself in such a way that my actions are in alignment with what I say I believe. So if you start to think about that, really, why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.
And Spirit loves you just the way you are. Just the way you are. You can start at any point to be different if you want, and Spirit will still love you. So why not experiment with it? If self-love still seems difficult, start with self-compassion or self-respect. So you were passed out a little piece of paper and a larger piece of paper. If you'd grab a pen at this time, and for those of you at home, you can go to our Facebook page, Unity Spiritual Center, and this information is on that page. And what I'd like for you to do is, without really thinking about it, just really quickly write 3 good things you like about yourself. Everyone have these papers? Anybody need them? And for you at home, maybe you have a little notebook. And the larger piece of paper and on our Facebook page, it has some suggestions of things that you might consider if you're not sure what you might write here. I know I found this exercise a challenge because initially I thought about physical things. Thought about my voice, my eyes, my body, my skin, my age, those kind of things. And yet those are elusive things. Those aren't sustaining things that are a continuous part of who I was. So that's why I made the list for you, so that you can look at the things that are aspects of you that are at the core of who you are. And perhaps that can give you a hint. And the reason for those of you here in person that I made it as a little card is write them down and keep them in your pocket. And you can pull them out at any point and look at that. And see maybe if you've come up with even more ideas on 3 good things you like about yourself. So what I finally came up with was I love my curiosity. And that goes hand in hand with this desire to learn more and to be a student. I love the idea that I constantly want to know more and how to do something. I love the fact that I'm creative not necessarily to someone else's liking, but that I'm constantly compelled to be creative and do new things. And the third thing, I love the fact that I get to be here and to explore life. And so I don't really know how to define that as a good thing about myself, other than that perhaps I recognize the value of having a life. So you may not come up with 3 right here and now, or maybe you will, and maybe they'll change tomorrow or this afternoon, and that's okay. Is there anyone that would like to share? Yes, Wendy?
My 3 were
Honest,
lifelong learner. So
lifelong learner,
and I'm friendly.
and friendly. Yes. Yeah, I also wanted to put integrity, but the list was only 3. Yeah, exactly. So don't limit it to just 3. Anybody else want to share? Yes?
I noticed the 3 things I put are what my parents valued.
Your parents valued those things.
Not necessarily what I would like to be,
Okay.
but what my parents valued. The ability to learn.
Ability to learn, honesty,
Reliable and trustworthy.
reliable and trustworthy.
So they weren't the open, curious, love life.
Okay.
That I'd actually like to be, but I put down what my
Okay.
parents.
Okay, so she's saying she put down what her parents wanted for her. And it's interesting, as we automatically do that, those old tapes are the first thing that do come up. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I have a sense of humor.
Sense of humor.
A good laugh.
Yes. Anything else?
That's good for a start.
That's a good first start, okay. And see how it's got us all laughing already. Thank you. So there's a few here on the screen. I'm not going to stay here long enough for you to be able to see them, but please go to our Facebook page and you'll see them all there. So we looked at self-love just a little bit, and love in its many forms, and a bit about the shadow side, the dark side. I'd love for you to say this with me if that's comfortable at this time. Today, I appreciate my own worth and value, and I make time for my own happiness and well-being. Okay. So you know what? We're having cake later today, so you get to have happiness and well-being through cake. So let's sing I Love Myself the Way I Am with Jay Josephs and Emilio, and let's sing it, okay? I'm going to turn my mic off so you don't hear me off key.
Love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of that only love can bring. I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I wanna grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Oh, I love myself just the way I am. You're beautiful and capable of being the best you can be. And I love you just the way you are. 'Cause I love myself just the way I am. So I love you just the way you are. And we can love the world just the way it is. Because I love myself just the way I am.
Thank you, Reverend Ann, for an excellent message, and for the and Emilio for the music. Okay, what is your takeaway today? I'll leave it up to you. And for myself, when I start this exercise, okay, I go through so many points. Okay, well, the one that I think that I'll go back to is really self-love is not saying I am the greatest, but I am here. I do have a tendency of staying in the shadow, in the background. So for me, putting myself forward is something, okay? Now, let's take a moment to engage in the spiritual practice of conscious giving. Thank you for supporting and giving to the work of this Unity community. There are envelopes on the back of the chairs if you would like to provide your offering that way. Or you can go green by giving on our website or by e-transfer to admin@unityspiritualcenter.com. There's a slide missing. Okay, well, I'll say it. Let's bless these gifts together with this blessing. Divine love that I am.
Divine love that I am.
Blesses all I give.
Blesses all I give.
And all I receive.
And all I receive. And let's sing One Power by Daniel Naima.
One power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. Well, whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in our hearts we're all the same. And we'll remember when we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. Well, whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation, it's an everlasting peace, it's the freedom of forgiveness, it's the sweetness of release, it's the joy of inspiration, it's the sunshine on your face, it's the birthright of all nations, it's the boundlessness of space, it's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep, it's the anger we abandon from its love that's most deep. It's one power, one power. What we are is one power. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power.
Way to go. Love this song. Remember, we are here to pray for you. We are here to pray with you. There are prayer request forms on the back of your chair. If you are watching online, please drop your prayer request in the comments section below this video. Or you can send your prayer to prayer@unityspiritualcenter.com.
So this is the first Sunday of the month, and it's always a Let's Eat Cake Sunday. And we're celebrating all of the birthdays in the month of July. So who here has a birthday in the month of July? Hey! We have a few of us. Yoo-hoo! And for those of you at home, are you having a birthday? So something I would like to invite you, if you're in the area, or those of you in this room, we're having a birthday party on July the 15th. I happen to be turning 65. There is a number of you that are having a birthday. And Joan is having a big birthday, and I think we advertised how old you're going to be, so everybody knows. I won't say it online, but we're going to be singing and karaoke, and it's going to be a potluck evening. It's a Friday night, and so bring some food to share, and bring your voice, good, bad, or indifferent. We love you. And it's going to start at 6 o'clock and hopefully 2-3 hours, something like that. So we're going to have piano music with Margot. We're going to have karaoke with Emilio. And Brenda, our administrator, is going to help us to sing. She sings beautifully. And we're going to eat all this beautiful food and eat cake. But today we're also going to eat cake. So let's sing Happy Birthday.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everyone born in the month of July. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now, and many more.
And let's make our closing prayer, let there be peace on earth. And let's sing that together.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So have a great week, everyone. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope to see you next week. And let's eat cake. And if you have cake at home, great. If you don't, go out and get some, okay? Eat it for me. So see you next week.